Yeah. I've got a small one. Um, so, and this is work in progress. It like specifically kind of it's a new model property, just bringing field sets over. We've repeatedly been asked to have references to lists of fields in addition to things like tags, and you can basically define them as a sort of single object. Right now, I've implemented them on topics, but I think we'll figure out topics. I think make sense, but also you can make sense at other levels as well as a sort of a model level version or even a view level version. But high level, you can define a field set name, revenue. I can go into the specific view and apply it to maybe all of the measures for this order items topic here, and then can come to a workbook page and drill to that specific definition and basically be reusable. And it can be reused as a sort of an intrinsic object too that can be played with other things. So you could sort of have inclusions and removals and the like you currently can too with all of the other field inclusion stuff. So that
And
should be
sorry, Jamie, one more time. They're defined at the topic level. They're defined at the model level. Where are you putting them right now?
right now they're topical. So the topic level makes most sense. It's effectively intrinsic to the object that you're actually referencing. So like in the case of the order items, it'd be things like maybe it's the inventory SKU or the user name that made the purchase and like the cost and the revenue of a given field. I think it can also make sense potentially at the model level where you want to reference things across topic. The hard part there.
Yeah, view also though too. The
View does.
user, like drilling in on a user, you might want the same four attributes no matter where users are getting dropped in.
That's
And replication across topics sounds kind of painful there.
what we really want is basically a more intrinsic object that can be reused in a variety of contexts too. There's complication there though. You want the namespace to be clean so you're not you know that it's not getting overloaded, and you want it to be easy to edit. But like the reason why views are a little bit awkward, or like this is so views is where a looker did it. You end up referencing things outside of that view very often.
Yeah, I can see where you want ones above it. It's
Yeah,
just that a lot of stuff is
that's
like you do want to move it around. Like users, you might call in 10 places, and you really don't want to redefine the user set over and over again.
that's right. But the if you're calling it basically within sort of the same intrinsic topic, it could be reused there. So it's I think it may be our use for all of the levels, which is sort of always
Yeah, I think that's right.
yeah. But
Well,
Um,
yeah, well,
Amy,
I think it makes sense
sorry.
just on the model level, but we're gonna have to figure it out. But
yeah,
I've some, yeah, yeah.
Stephen has opinions, is what I gleaned from that. Um, Somewhat related but tangential is there a way to that like AI can leverage these sets in any form, because it's kind of a way to relate fields together more or less as like a concept of like, hey, when I'm asking about users, these are the things I typically care about. I don't know if that makes sense for this construct, but
certainly reasonable, and like it'd be actually relatively easy to add things like metadata about a given set to AI, and like in to the extent that I mean, this actually it's sort of a good meta point too. I think then you probably want it to be associated with the topics explicitly. You'd have sort of sort of metadata. I don't know. Yes, I think that there is implicit signal in this though. We currently do pass in tags to AI. So like given field,
Mhm.
basically any object that sort of supports tags, we pass that sort of metadata to, and I think AI can infer from that relationships. But yeah, I like the idea too of passing more signal ultimately.